What's up, y'all? Polo Sports Talk and Entertainment. Back again with another one. Hit the like button, sub to the channel if you're not a member, and also uh, hit the notification so that you're able to get all of my content and all of my videos. What's up with it, Robert Bruce? I see you in the building, man. Up in here first. I'm gonna jump right into this boxing talk right now, man. Uh, Another guy, man, who I've been pushing for. Okay, another guy who I've been really pushing for because right now, my who I have as my top boxers in the game right now are Canelo, Errol Spence, and Shakur Stevenson. Okay, those these are all my guys, and everybody can sit here and they can joke around and you know say that I'm capping when I say this statement. Shakur Stevenson is the next face of boxing. Okay, um, whether you want to try to believe it or not, he's the next face of boxing. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Hopefully y'all can hear me now. I apologize about that. I had some trouble with my mic. Um, Shakur Stevenson is the next face of boxing. Okay. I have him as the next face of boxing for several reasons. I do, like I said, and I forgot to throw Devin Haney in there too. But the guys that I like are Canelo's my number one. Okay, then I got Errol Spence, and then I have uh, Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. Okay, coming this weekend, coming this weekend, uh, I'm gonna talk about that. Shakur Stevenson is about to light up Valdez. Okay, he just is. He's gonna dominate him. Um, he's just gonna pretty much put on a display of remarkable boxing, just like he did in the previous fight when he fought Jamal Herring. Um, Shakur Stevenson is next in line, and I've told people time and time again why. Uh, he's a combination of marketability. He's got a swagger in himself in terms of um, he's got a swagger about himself that's it's cockiness and confidence at the same time, and also his approach. You can't never discount the approach that he brings to the game in terms of the work ethic and how he approaches his craft. That's another thing. You know, um, he's been waiting for this time for quite some time. You listen, he's saying that he will become a superstar on Saturday night. I agree. I already got him projected as that, like projected as a superstar. You're talking about a guy that's 17-0 with 9 knockouts in his uh in his young career, you know. Okay, yes, Valdez is not to be slept on. He's a little bit older. He's 31, 30-0 with 23 knockouts. However, this right here is going to prove to everybody. It's going to prove to everybody that Shakur Stevenson should be taken seriously. Now, do I disagree with him saying that he could beat Canelo? Yeah, right now at this stage of the game. Absolutely, I disagree. I disagree wholeheartedly. However, with work and and more experience and maybe a few more fights up under his belt, he could eventually beat Canelo. Now, he'll probably never face Canelo or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because Canelo, like, he's got maybe a good solid, I say, 5 to 6 years left. But, at this point in time, Canelo is he's got other plans in mind. And I'm gonna talk about Canelo in another video because I think a lot of people are salty of the fact that Canelo is moving at his own pace and moving at his own chessboard. Listen, Canelo does what he wants to do, man. In the beginning, I mean, he pretty much, and he fighting who's in front of him. So why are we sitting here, just saying that Canelo is going on, he's just fighting, Europeans and stuff like that, man. Listen, dog, if he loses to those guys, then okay, we would be having a completely different argument, right? We can't help that a lot of those other guys are not willing to be, put themselves in a position to want to fight him. But that's a whole nother story. I'm not even gonna get into that right now. I'm gonna save that for another video. Right now, I'm talking about this man right here, in Shakur Stevenson. Okay, I'm laying the facts out. He's a conglomerate and a combination of speed, of quickness. Um, he's at a decent at a decent size. Um, he's tenacious. He's flamboyant too. You know, he's you know he's precise in his punches. He can work the body. He can work inside. He can work outside. And he's got the personality too, and he's got the look too. That's why I said, and some people trip out when I say that, he's I would say he's a shorter version of a Muhammad Ali, because you got to think about it. Muhammad Ali, when he came in, he was he was young. Uh, he had swagger. He was feisty, but at the same time he had flair, and he had everything that you needed. He was precision and accurate with his punches. Hold on, y'all. All right, I apologize about that, y'all. Okay, now, um, you were talking about Demetrius Andrade. I'm not the biggest Demetrius Andrade fan. You know, I'm just not, and I think that he would be, if he was to face a guy like a Canelo. Canelo is right. He would destroy him. He would destroy him. Um, you said Bob the Bruiser Bruce. Um, I haven't followed him too much. I haven't followed Bob Bruce. Um, let's see. Yeah, I don't know who Bob Bruce is, but all I'm saying is right now at this point in time is Shakur Stevenson. He's gonna come in and he's gonna completely dominate this fight, man. You know, um, a lot of people, they give the impression that he's just gonna come in there and he he's gonna make it. He's gonna carry the fight. I have Shakur Stevenson actually stopping him. I would say probably in the fifth or sixth round. That's what I have it. Probably even before that, because he's fighting this guy a little bit off of emotion, a little bit because the thing surrounding the whole cheating thing and all that stuff. But he's gonna be the next face of boxing, you know, and I don't understand why people are taking a guy like Shakur Stevenson um lightly, you know. Um, and he said that he already had came out with a statement and basically said and told the media that he's not going to be involved in a toe-to-toe battle with Valdez, you know. Um, and he basically said that he's not going to give Valdez any type of chance to try to land anything. Now, this is what's interesting too, right? You know, they're saying that Canelo has given Valdez tips on defeating a guy like Shakur Stevenson, and if he has, hey, that's even better. You know why? Because if you taking tips from a guy like a Canelo and then Shakur Stevenson, look, man, you can sit there and you could take the tips all you want to from a guy like Shakur, but that doesn't mean that you're gonna go in there and you actually gonna dominate or you're gonna be any better. You still have to have the know-how in order to apply that. And I believe Shakur Stevenson because when you looked at that last fight when he fought, what's up, True Viking Queen? I see you in the building. When you looked at that fight, the previous fight when he fought uh Jamal Herring, it was just completely completely dominant. And everybody thought that Jamal Herring actually had somewhat of a chance. The way that he was talking beforehand. So, I mean, you could sit here and you could take all these tips that you want to from different Hall of Famers and stuff like that, man. Shakur Stevenson is a natural. He's a natural at what he does. You know, This guy he has a natural candid ability to, what they say, stick, really stick and move, and really look good doing it, man. You know, and what, I know this is kind of simple in what they say and what Ali used to say, like butterfly and stinging like a bee, man. Shakur Stevenson has that type of swagger, man. He's got that type of drip, So you could go ahead and you could do what you want, take all these different uh, sound advices from various people. It don't matter. Um, look, Canelo has um I think the reason why Canelo has given him advice, a guy like Valdez advice, is because we know that Canelo has had experience against the more crafty fighters. Okay. Um, like Floyd and Lara. He's matched up with them against, and I don't think Eric Landy Lara gets a lot of credit in terms of how crafty he is. Man, he's a very crafty fighter. Even Sugar Shane, to a certain degree, he was very crafty. But I mean, he's had experience with those, and you know, he's gonna see. Some people believe that the game plan from Oscar Valdez is to try to rally in the second half of the fight. I don't think it's gonna go full throttle in the second half of the fight. Look, if I'm wrong, I will come on here and I will admit that I'm wrong. I will come on here and I will admit that I am wrong, but I do not see it happening. I do not see that taking place. Like I said, this fight is going to end with the fifth and the sixth. Look, and I like Canelo a lot, but it's not gonna help a guy like like Valdez. You know, it's not gonna help him. You could do everything that you want to. See, what gets forgotten about is Shakur's defense. I think he's a very slept on defensive talent. That's why I have him a little bit above. What's up with him, Mojo Jojo? I see you in the building. I have him a little bit above, guys like Devin Haney, even, Tank. Now, some people are going to disagree with me because of Tank's knockout power and stuff like that. And Shakur Stevenson has came out and he's expressed that, he can eventually, beat a guy like Tank, and I believe it. I believe that if anybody could beat Tank, it's either him or Devin Haney. You know, because they know how to box. They know how to counterpunch, and they're really quick and they're really fast. It's not taking anything away from Tank, of course. But at the same token, Tank does have that Mike Tyson type of aura about him in terms of putting motherfuckers to sleep. But to get back to Shakur, he basically said, well, Valdez had said this. He said this quote. He said there have been fighters who had a horrible performance, but they looked great in the next one. He said, I looked like crap in my last fight, but this is my chance to get it all back. He said, well, that's basically what he said. Now, hold on one second. Now, when Valdez says that, I believe that he's saying that looking at the previous fights, but this fight right here, you can't be you can't make your margin for error has to be very, very, very slim against a guy like Stevenson, because Stevenson is cerebral. Uh, this is another thing too. So Shakur Stevenson is very cerebral, and he's patient in what he does. Shakur Stevenson is very, very, very patient in what he does and what he brings to the table. And I don't think people are giving Shakur Stevenson enough credit for the composure that he brings and his poise. Now, he said that with Jamal Herring, see, this is what's scary. This is what's even more scary. He said, quote, look, at 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 that at that he said, I look at that as my last fight, as my next fight. We fought Jamel, and I did what I was supposed to do. If you level up the competition on me, I'm going up on it every single time. That's what's scary. Meaning that, he's gonna pull some more out of it, and that's true. He said, and that's what he said. He said basically, I'm gonna be the superstar in this next fight. I believe Shakur. Listen, Shakur he's had the reputation of actually backing up his word. That's what's making him so solid right now, and that's why a lot of people are really truly believing him, man. Because this guy right here, man, he's got it, man. It's just something about this guy that's going to make you um he's going to make you believe it. Now, with Valdez, let me see, the only way that Valdez could win is he would have to really be a smarter fighter than a guy like Shakur Stevenson. He would have to be a smarter fighter. Okay? And I don't see that happening. I just don't see that happening. I really don't. And it doesn't take any. Look, Valdez, he's undefeated right now. He could go in there. Listen, anything could take place inside of that ring. That's what we have to realize about boxing. Boxing can be very unforgiving. But at the same token, with Shakur Stevenson and the work that he puts in, you guys got to remember, man. This guy, you talking about a warrior. You talking about a warrior. But there's nothing to take away from Valdez. A lot of things have been said about Valdez that I don't. I'm not really. I'm not really a fan of and stuff. And they try to put him in the category of Canelo, but I'm like, Canelo wasn't no known cheater, but they want to still put him. They want to still put him in that box, like he's doing steroids, like he's constantly just juicing and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And see, that's one of the things that I'm gonna talk about with with Canelo. People, some of these guys, man, they don't even look at Canelo the same, man. But this guy, man, he's an individual. You put yourself in Canelo's shoes, and people are constantly saying stuff about you, that's not true or whatever. You constantly having to defend yourself or whatever. I mean, put your put yourself in his shoes, you know. Listen, Shakur Stevenson is considered one of the best uh, one of the best technical punchers in here in the game. Uh, and what's it called? Valdez, the thing about him is that he has a reputation for, power, knockout power. Uh, but like I said, I don't see him catching him. I don't see him catching him. And look, I'm gonna be looking for the defense. I'm gonna be looking at the defensive aspect of this whole entire fight. I'm gonna be looking at the defensive aspect of this whole entire fight. Listen, Shakur Stevenson, he brings an element that that Valdez just doesn't bring. Shakur Stevenson, he could stop him too. Now, if he catches him wrong or catches him slipping, sort of like when Ugas had caught Earl Spence, it's going to be a question of if he's going to be able to recover from that, you know. And I don't see that. I don't see that taking place, man. I don't see that taking place. This guy right here, man, is uh, because we have the second fight. Hold on one second, because I was gonna look at the now. There's also another thing that needs to be talked about too is the height advantage, the height and the reach advantage, as well as the um the stance. Okay, uh, he could hit him with that left hook and put Valdez to sleep. Okay, and Shakur Stevenson has the height on him. He's at five. Well, he's listed at 5'7". But some people say he's 5'8" or whatever, and he's a southpaw. Okay, he's a southpaw. But like I said, bro, like this guy right here, man, Shakur Stevenson, bro, he he's gonna come up in there, man, and he's gonna get the strap, man. He's gonna get the strap. You you gotta listen. You gotta take him seriously. No, I don't understand why um people were willing to not even look at Shakur Stevenson in the same light as a Devin Haney or the same light as a Tank or any of these other guys. You know, um, and listen, Shakur Stevenson has the ability to get under people's skin. He already has came out and basically said that um, he's under his skin already. So it's a good tactic. And there we say again about the psychological opponent and the psychological advantage that an opponent may have, you know. But you know, nobody. I don't think nobody respects his work. Now, the previous fight, Jamel Herring, man, it took him 10 rounds to stop him. Now, is Jamel Herring on Valdez's level? No, absolutely not. But I think that the the psychological factors will play an important role in this fight. So uh, they're gonna be fighting, in gonna be in Vegas. Me myself personally, I wish it was somewhere else, but it is what it is. And Shakur Stevenson, like I said, he's that next face in boxing. So y'all let me know what you think, man. Leave your comments and like the video, share it, subscribe, hit the notifications so that you are notified. Polo Sports Talking Entertainment, man. And I'm gonna get at y'all later.